I mean, that is the great irony of this whole set piece is Bolton has been brought on to, disparage for good reason Trump and his insanity with regards to January 6th. And yet he is admitting to committing the very same crime. Just overseas, since it was overseas, I guess we're able to chuckle about it and it's no big deal. And he'll be perfectly fine in the cocktail circuit here in Washington, although some of his friends are a little bit peeved at him. First, we have Ken Klippenstein just saying, hey, wouldn't it be nice if Congress looked into that whole John Bolton orchestrating coups thing? Yeah, that would be useful, wouldn't it? Maybe once we get past the January 6th hearings, maybe we might look at other coups that our government officials have been attempting to perpetrate. But then you have, let's put this next one up on the screen, Lindsey Graham, noted neocon. His reaction, quite telling. He says he was surprised by John Bolton admitting to coups. Quote, it was odd. It was like, be more specific. I've always liked John. I agree with him on foreign policy, but was just kind of an offhand comment that rattled the system. So note here, it's not the coups that are the problem. He outright says, I agree with him on foreign policy. I think, that's great work that he's doing. Just why'd you have to say anything about it? You're rattling the system by being actually honest about the horrific deeds that you're committing overseas. That's the problem here.
And we also had John Cipher, who's like a former CIA op, go and put this on the screen. He said he's full of shit. He never planned a coup. Throw the next one up there. What else did he say? He says, I see a lot of misinformed people using this to push an agenda. My point is that Bolton's comment is dangerous because it sets of false people. The American people, senior officials sit in the White House and choreograph coups. That's nonsense. Well, given the fact that he was the national security advisor, we should at least take it seriously. And then the all-time—
Well, he literally is talking specifically about Venezuela.
Right.
And I'm sure are others as well. But this happened in recent years. So to pretend like this didn't happen is actually the nonsense.
Right, and then the final one, which was hilarious, David Frum, the bright red light indicates the camera and microphone are on. Former national security advisors should measure their words and avoid cynical jokes that give aid and comfort to those who do not wish this country well.
What a hilarious joke.
Says, how do you know it was a joke, David? Yeah, that's a great question. So anyway, I think that we should all be asking a little bit more questions about John Bolton.
Yeah.
And stop allowing him on television to just be all he's good for is bashing Trump. But it's like, there's a lot of other stuff you can ask too, as he just haphazardly admitted, which is kind of hilarious.
Right, yeah. I mean, I would love to see him pushed a little more, in detail on these things. That would be worthwhile, having John Bolton on for that conversation, but that doesn't seem to be the direction they typically want to go in. Yeah, I just love how the neocon reaction wasn't, horror at the things that our country does overseas, but that he would say it, that he would say it out loud, that he would brazenly admit to it publicly. That was the real issue. And so they have to pretend like, of course he's just kidding, that old John, what a jokester. Clearly in the context, I mean, he's not making a joke there, and then again goes on to give some specifics about what he means. So in what way is this a joke?
Exactly.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.